Marvelous!
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Marvelous, and I'm gonna give my opinion today. I've been searching over interwebs, looking at different content creators, and still seeing this thing trend, and it's kind of getting real old, long in the tooth. And I'm just gonna give my opinion on this. And the topic of today is the battle of the sexes. Now, if you've not been paying attention, living on the rock, or you don't watch media, which might be a good thing for you, then you would notice that there has been this constant rivalry, this back and forth comparison between men and women. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick example of what I mean. So, there was a post on Facebook, and I'm gonna drop the picture right here. Check it out. You see in this picture is a man who is going to a woman who has a card with a 7, and he says, "Nah, I can't date someone with a high body count that high." But then behind his back, he slept with about 102 women, right? So it's like trying to point out the hypocrisy for the most part in what it is men want in comparison to what women want, what they want from a woman. So it looks, on the surface, it looks to be like pretty much politically correct. It seems like you're highlighting hypocrisy and whatever, right? It's hypocrisy highlighted here, but there's a deeper undertone current to this that's very malicious and done intentionally, because it's actually a unbalanced scenario. Not to say that this scenario can't exist, but it's the likelihood of this scenario is not average. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get into it. So what I replied to this particular photo was simply, most men don't even have over 5 bodies on average. Do you really think the average man has over 5 bodies? Most men are still virgins into the late 20s. Why do you think men are shamed for not getting laid by women, and women are shamed for opening their legs for many men? If a man is a virgin, then something is wrong with him. And if a woman is sleeping around with many guys, then there's something wrong with her. But not the other way around. But why is that? Well, in my opinion, women don't want to be shamed for sleeping around because the consequences of having sex can be overlooked or avoided, outright avoided. Women at one period in time were judged upon the outcomes of their decisions, not necessarily the actions of the decisions. Men are judged upon the actions more so over the outcomes, mostly due to men being forced or coerced into being held accountable for their outcomes, or the outcomes of other men in some cases, i.e., being a stepfather. Everything has been placed in reverse in society, all under the name of equality, and more specifically, women being equal to men. Translation? Women are simply competing and copying what men do. And why is that? Call it a feeling at best. It could range from curiosity, inspiration, or envy. Every woman has their own reasons, but likely it was a feeling at best. This post highlights my opinion. This post, for instance, like many others, is meant to encourage a woman's choices in comparison to a man's choices. It says, you're better than a man. These men are out here sleeping around with high body counts. Like this is even an accurate or realistic scenario. Here's a realistic assumption, in my opinion. 1. The most desirable man compared to the most desirable woman isn't even close in terms of outcome. Women are more desirable than men. The sexual demand of a woman is higher than that of a man. Even economics can determine that factor. Which do you think is more valuable? Dick or pussy? I rest my case. But, moving on. Number 2. There are more virgin men, than there are virgin women. Incels are likely to be males. Again, I rest my case. And three, all right, more women share, more women share their baby daddies. Oh, actually, I should say, more women share baby daddies over dudes who share baby mamas. There are a lot of women with random baby daddies, yes, but I would say it is likely a man has more children than a woman. A man can have an entire army produced from his DNA. A woman can have maybe up to 20 kids on some extremeness, but there's still no comparison when a man can go up to 2,000 kids and up. I mean, if you take the cards that each one has and turn that body count into children, this scenario will make a whole lot of sense and would honestly tell a different story based upon the outcomes. But since we are comparing actions and avoiding outcomes, we are left with this foolish competition over who is better or worse, which group is good and which group is bad based upon how each group feels. This whole post is purely here to manipulate or perpetuate propaganda with a battle between the sexes. And it's obvious. It's quite obvious. This post isn't about right or wrong behavior based upon outcomes that we want to either gain or avoid. It's simply about who is better or who is to blame. Again, this just says men need to be held accountable and women should continue to make decisions that men should be responsible for. End of quote. That was my whole rebuttal to this particular post. And I had a lot of people agreeing with me on this particular post, which is why I posted it here for you guys to listen to. Men and women alike agree with this post. There really was no rebuttal to this because for the most part, I'm not trying to gain or trying to compete no more. I'm basically looking at this like, yo, I want nothing to do with this war. I'm tired of this battle of sexes. Let's call a truce and let's call it a square, a spade, and let's get down to the real nitty gritty to what it is that we're really talking about, and that is the truth. I find the truth to be the most important thing to highlight in this particular post, and that's where all this came from. It was just the truth I was pretty much telling. And you guys know me, if you've been on my channel for a long time, the one thing I really try to express the most is love. And if you're not paying attention, the intro, I pretty much tell you all the time what love is: truth, faith, and understanding. Of course, when it comes to the discipline aspect to actually instill that in your life, you need to be patient. And kindness is warranted, but is it necessary? No. But again, at the end of the day, you should always try to understand yourself and understand others. And that's what I was trying to do when breaking down this particular photo and understanding where is it going, why is it here, and what is it causing. Anyways, that's my opinion, guys. Again, peace and love. Take care. I'm out.